Good evening. How are we doing tonight? I just put on lip balm. I had it in my, did you guys see my haul? I did a haul video today, and a haul Q&A, and I just put on lip balm and lip gloss that I got at Ulta today, because I'm fancy like that, so. And I just dropped off Tanya Jean, took her to get a fountain pop. I got a bottle of water. It is currently 1:05 a.m. and Alex just texted me a little bit ago, and he is going to sleep, and I am waiting for the snow. And as soon as it starts snowing, because I want to see the snow, I'm going to go home, because I'll get the vlog done early tonight, so I'm going to listen to my audiobook after that, Stranger Beside Me by Ann Rule, get very, very scared, and then I am going to go home and lay in bed, and I'm going to watch it snowing out the window as I fall asleep with my husband and my dog all next to me. And I'm going to sleep in tomorrow morning. So I'm going to go to bed a little early tonight, I think. I had fun with Tanya driving around. It's been a really, really good day. I mean, nothing extraordinary. You know, there were a couple days in a row in the vlog where I said, like, I'm having a really great day today, or I feel very content, or very serene, and, you know, like, positive and peaceful. And, it was interesting because I got a comment, and somebody said, and I'm sure it was meant nice, and somebody said, you say every day that you feel, like, peaceful and serene. But you know what? I ended up talking about that in a Peterisms video, because I thought it was, like, an interesting, you know, observation. The thing is like, since I've been getting up every day, and I've been, like, you know, doing my prayers, my meditations, my affirmations, making a gratitude list every morning, doing the same, you know, as I go to bed at night, to kind of end my day that way, do a, you know, a quick inventory of my day and all of that. Since I have been doing that, the majority of my days are very, very peaceful and very serene. And the thing is that things that would have bothered me 5 or 10 years ago, like, I've always practiced to some level prayers and meditations on a regular basis, but I have to say that this has been the longest consistent time in a row that I've been doing it. And I can really, really tell. And I can really specifically tell about gratitude working really effectively in my life right now, that I don't take a lot for granted anymore, and I'm just, why is this car tailing me? And I don't know, I'm just so grateful for my life, and, you know, my health and my sobriety, but then, you know, my husband and my house and my dogs and my friends and my family, but then it goes into all these little things. And I have, since I've started doing it in the morning and in the evening, one of the things is that I'm starting to notice throughout the entire day, like, when something happens, I'm like, okay, this is something I'm truly grateful for. At the moment that it happens, I notice it like that. And so it's like living gratitude. It, like, I notice it in that moment. But, you know, I was talking about this in a Peterisms video the other day, because I think that, I mean, I can only speak for myself, right? But I think, like, in life, it's real easy for me to quickly go to, oh, today sucks, or today is a bad day, or, you know, like, oh, this happened, or, oh, I'm so tired. You know what I mean? Like, there have been long periods of my life where I have been like that, where I'm just like, oh my God, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And, I don't feel like that on a regular basis anymore. And I think the thing is that I have to, you know, be aware of the days that I am happy, content, positive, peaceful, and serene, just as much as I am aware of the days that are, you know, I'm not feeling great and whatever. And I'm not talking about my health. Like, I can still be happy and feel sick. And I do feel better today. Like, I feel much better today. But I think it's really, really important to focus on the positive. I just do, you know? And the more I focus on the positive, the more positive things happen to me. So, now I will tell you one really not so positive thing. Well, we'll see. It might end up being a positive thing. I don't know. So, my car is a disaster, you guys. Okay, so they keep on finding more and more things that are wrong with my car. So anyway, I don't even really, like, the story is so long to get into it, but when my air conditioner went out this summer, it is actually like a bigger issue than that, than just the air conditioner. And it's like affecting like the whole coolant system in my car. So at this point, for me to get fixed is, and you guys know this, is they found more things today. So it's about the equivalent, and I'm like coming up to the point where I've like really extended my welcome, so to speak, on this rental car. So, with my friend. So, when I talked to them today, they had been working on it, and they found more stuff, and they're so, like, at first I kind of had some issues with them, but they're very, very nice. So I called my friend that owns a shop that I really, really trust, and I was like, can I have it brought over to you, and like, you know, what would be the price difference and stuff? He goes, let me call there and let me talk to their, you know, mechanic and see what's going on. So he called over there and he talked to their head mechanic, and he called me back and he's like, Peter, you just need to get a new car. And I go, what? Because now, you know, like, I was resigned, so I was going to get this car fixed and whatever. He goes, it's just, listen. He goes, there's too many problems. He was like, once you get this fixed, you're going to have to get something fixed like another 2 months down the road. He goes, you know, there's so many things on it that need to be fixed at this point. He was like, just to get this whole coolant system fixed in your car is going to be so expensive. He goes, and then, you know, you need to get like, it's like this axle thing with my brakes is another thing that they need to fix. And he goes, you need to just go look at a new car. He goes, you need to go see what you can get for this car and whatever. And so I was like, ugh. So I talked to the place there about what they would recommend, and they would be willing to buy the car basically for salvage, or I could take it somewhere and see. But like, the car is not drivable at this point. They've taken everything off of the front of it, so like they would have to, I guess, put it back. I don't know, it's a mess. So on Monday, I'm gonna go up there, and they were gonna put like some kind of estimate together for me of what they would offer me on the car. And then I'm gonna go and probably look at a car Monday or Tuesday. I can't go tomorrow and start looking at cars because we're gonna have all this snow. So I can't do that tomorrow. Do you think the sky's bright or bright enough? I mean, I feel like I'm walking into heaven. So anyway, I have no idea what I'm gonna look at. I'm sure I'll get 15 different opinions below. You know, the thing is, I would really like to get a Jeep Wrangler. I think it would be really fun if Alex and I were both driving Jeep Wrangler, since it's kind of our dream car. But it's not my only dream car, I have to be honest with you. And, you know, the older I get, like, when it came down to it today, like, when I was talking to the guy on the phone, I was like, can I ask you about some other cars? And he was, like, really nice. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what do you think about Jeep Wranglers? And he was like, I think they're the worst car on the road. And I go, do you really? And he was like, yeah. He goes, they're really not very safe, and they don't get very good gas mileage. And I was like, well, a lot of people had told me that. I didn't say, oh, I, you know, have a vlog, and people in the comment section, but a lot of you guys have said that. And, I was talking to Tanya about it, and Tanya's like, well, I mean, you would be doing it because it's a fun car. She's like, you wouldn't necessarily be doing it because, you know, she's like, but you drive so much. And I was like, but I wouldn't be taking it really on road trips anymore, because I probably wouldn't. And we don't really take that many road trips anyway. So, I don't know. I might look at a newer Ford Explorer. I used to drive a Nissan Xterra. I loved that. So I might look at some kind of Nissan SUV, like a Pathfinder. Tanya and I drove through this used car place tonight. There was like, I don't even know the kind it is, but the list price was pretty good. There was a Range Rover Invoque. I don't even know, you guys. I'm so stupid about cars. But the price was like not that expensive for the mileage on it. But I don't, you know, it could maybe not be in great shape otherwise. I just don't want to get in some huge car loan. So I don't know. know, because I still have to pay off my other car loan, you know, like that's the other thing, unless they roll it all together. But I'm really, really close. I'm thinking about just taking my money out of savings, and just pay, like, what I have, and just paying the rest, because it's, I mean, I'm like really that close to getting the car paid off. So, I mean, it's not a huge loss, and I don't know. When I was talking to my friend on the phone today, he was like, you know what, Peter? He was like, be excited about the fact that you're getting a new car. He was like, don't just look at it as negative because you wanted to drive the car for another 2 years. He was like, 2 years down the road, you'd be looking at a Ford Explorer with 400,000 miles on it. And he goes, there are people that do make their cars last that long, but very few. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you know, and to make the car last another 2 years, he's like, there's a lot of things that you probably would be looking at that haven't come up yet. And I was like what? And he was like a new engine. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, and that's extremely expensive. And he was like, you know, you haven't come into any of that kind of problems yet, you know, with your, so anyway, I don't know. So the beginning of next week, I'm not even thinking about it this weekend. I mean, I'm gonna look online a little bit, but I don't know what I want. Something affordable. The thing is like, I'm not like the person that needs to have the nicest car in the world, you know? I will say this, like, as I was like kind of like looking at cars online tonight and stuff, comfort in a car is a lot more important to me as I get older, honestly. I will tell you, I looked at a Cadillac SUV, a used Cadillac SUV. I was like, I could kind of drive that, but like, then I feel like that's so old man of me. But at the same time, like, there's something just about comfort to me. I don't know what it is, you know, as I get older. And like a Jeep Wrangler, I don't necessarily think is like the most comfortable car in the world, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you the other thing, though, that I'm thinking about possibly doing is not getting a Jeep Wrangler that's new at all and getting one that's like, I know you guys are gonna be like, don't do that. Like, seeing if I can find one that's like a 2014, 2015, which is still, you know, somewhat new, and get like a two-door that has like 30,000 miles on it. That's not expensive, because I saw some tonight, and see if I can get it paid off in like a year and a half. And then that would still kind of like meet my goal of what I wanted to do. You know, plus we would have that then when we move, or when we get a place in Florida, and we could just keep it down there if I wanted to get something else after that. I don't know. It's also kind of like, I don't love the idea of buying a car in the middle of the winter. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's kind of more fun to, I think I've always kind of bought, my Explorer I bought in November. I have no idea when I bought my Escape. I don't remember. Those were my last two cars. I drove a Cherokee. Here's my other thing, is that I did not love my Jeep Cherokee that I drove. So I don't know that I really like, and that's my only experience with Jeeps, but I don't know. I'm gonna just kind of look and see what I see online. I'm gonna look around. So, two separate people told me Subarus and Toyotas are great cars, so I don't know. Let me know if you have any suggestions below. And yeah. And don't be putting like $80,000 cars or something like that. I don't have that kind of money. We gotta be kind of realistic. I won't be getting a new car. I'll just tell you that right now. Whatever I get will be used. Somebody actually asked me that on my Q&A. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to go look at some dealerships and see what they offer me for a new car. I have no idea. You know, I have no idea what like a 2019 something would cost, but probably more than I can afford, I would think, you know? Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. It's like, it's interesting because, like, I think I talk about money sometimes as if, like, I can't afford anything, and that's really not the case. The case is that I'm extremely conservative financially, and, like, I've talked a lot about paying off debt on here and living debt-free, and, you know, like, not living above my means. Like, that is really, really important to Alex and I, especially me, because I think that financial freedom, and what I mean by that is not being tied down to a lot of debt, you know, and I think, like, having a car loan and having a mortgage is one thing. I think it's another thing to have all these credit cards and loans and this and that. I think that's a lot, and I understand that people have to do that, and I was there at one point too, but I'm not, and I don't want to go back to that, you know what I mean? So I try to make very, very smart money decisions because I just don't want to be trapped by that. I mean, I have friends of mine that have incredible lives, right? But they live so above their means that I'm like, I don't know that I would want to live that way and be stressed out all the time by it, you know? I would rather, like, kind of think to myself, well, maybe I don't need the, you know, this kind of car. Maybe I can get something that's a little bit cheaper, like a used car, or a car that's, you know, a 2016 or 17. It's not like a 19, you know what I mean? And that's okay. Like, I'm fine with that. So, I don't know. I feel like I know so many people. I don't know what it is, but people, like, my friends, like most of my close friends are not that way. Like, they don't struggle with money. Like, they just don't. But they're also very smart with money. Like, I feel like my close, like, circle of friends thinks exactly the same way that I do. Like, Tanya and her husband were the same way. Melissa and her husband, like, they think the same way. Like, very smart, you know? And both Melissa and Jason and Tanya and Eric have taught me a lot through the years on, like, you know, how to handle money and things like that. So, and my dad is very smart with money. And I just don't want to live, you know, like, fearful of, like, that's just, I don't want to live that way again. You know what I mean? And definitely not over a car. So I don't know. I want something that is comfortable. I want something that is affordable. I want something that's safe. But at the same time, like, I mean, I'm 46, so let's just say if I get, you know, I don't lease cars, so I usually get a car loan, you know, so if I got a 4 to 6 car loan, you know, I'm talking 50. This is gonna be my car going and taking me into 50, you know? I'd like to kind of have something that's kind of cute. Like, this might be my last youthful car, you know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but you know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm gonna try to have fun with it and go look at the beginning of the week and kind of see, you know, what's out there and whatever, and yeah. But I don't want to be in it. I'm not gonna, like, I gotta get something next week, but I don't. So next week I'll be in a new car at some point. Anyway. And that was that today. She didn't, like, that's a good example of something that, like, with the, like, the peace and the serenity and things like that. I'm, like, way out here in the middle of nowhere. And this area right here totally reminds me of true crime books that I read. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Like, 10 years ago, like, that kind of car stuff that happened today, like, I would have been a mess over that. Like, I would have been like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, whatever, you know? And, like, when he called, I was just like, hey, can I call you back in a second? Like, I was like, I'm gonna have a friend of mine call you because I don't understand a lot of what you're telling me. And he was like, okay, that's fine. And I go, he owns a shop. And he was like, oh yeah, that's fine. So, like, you know, and then I called my friend, and then he called him, and then he called me back and explained it to me what was going on. And, you know, like, I just don't get as stressed about things as I used to, you know? Like, I realized today there are things that I can handle, there are things that I can't handle, there are things that I have control over, there are things I don't have any control over, and the things that I don't, I gotta do the best that I can do with that. It's just not worth it to get all spun out of control and get crazy minded about stuff. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. Back in the day, I used to do that, and I very much get that from my mother. And my dad is not like that at all. I mean, my father is as calm as they come in any situation. Just always level-headed and calm in decisions. And he doesn't really let anything bother him. And so, that's something that's really, it's gonna tip over the camera. I knew it! I could feel myself as I was braking. I could feel the camera. Letty said something about, does it do that because of a screw or something? She said that in the comments. I didn't know what she was talking about. So anyway, but yeah, like, I mean, I just don't get all bent out of shape about stuff the way that I used to, you know? Like, back in the day, like, I used to get so bent out of shape about stuff. I would have been, just like, I'm gonna put some more lip balm on. I would have been so bent out of shape about, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this, and blah, 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 and panic. I'm not like that anymore, you know what I mean? It'll be fine, we'll work something out, maybe I'll get a car that I'm real excited about. I will tell you what's kind of funny is, though, that, like, one of the things I've been thinking about, like, as I was, like, looking at cars, is, like, where to put my camera for my vlog. Isn't that crazy? I mean, like, that is definitely nothing that I've ever thought about before in looking at a car. So, here's my Chanel lip balm that I never use. I was feeling especially bougie tonight to go get a fountain pop with Tanya. And then here's my new lip gloss, Be Poppin', by NYX Lingerie. Did I show this already? Oh, okay. Because of course, I mean, when you are a vlogger of the world, you need to put on lip gloss. It is nice, but you know what it was what I was thinking of earlier? Because I was like at Ulta and I was like, do you guys have like a clear lip gloss that doesn't have like glitter or sparkles in it? And they were like, they like literally could not think of one to save their lives, right? And they're like, the girl was like, fine, like this guy was doing somebody's makeup there and she was asking him, he was like, I don't know if we have a lip gloss that's just clear. What is going on here? It's like this snow truck is going like 80 miles an hour through the street. Really fast. We don't even have snow yet. Did I show you guys my reading glasses that I got? They're so cute. Actually, with my hair done, you can kind of see how cute they really are. Can you see? Aren't those kind of cute? I think so. But anyway, what was I gonna say? My lip gloss be poppin'. I don't remember. I don't remember what I was going to say now. It doesn't matter. Wiggle your toes, Peter, and you'll remember. What was I talking about before that? The car, things that used to bother me. Anyway, the car thing will figure itself out. I just, like, I don't, I don't stress myself out the way that I used to stress out. It's just not worth it, It just is totally, totally, totally not worth it. So, I don't know. You know when you can kind of like feel the snow before it comes? Like, I don't feel it tonight, like really at all. And it's supposed to start between 2 and 3, and it's 1:28 right now. And I'm not feeling it. Oh, it's gonna stop. Okay, it stopped. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, how like I'm just like not as, I don't get stressed out about stuff the way that I used to. And it's really, really nice, And I think it's all a result of, I remember what I was talking about before. So when I was in Ulta today, okay, I'll come back to the gratitude in just a second. But when I was in Ulta today, I'm like jumping stories because like now I'm remembering like why I brought up like the gratitude to begin with. Okay, but when I was in Ulta today, I was asking for a lip gloss. I was like, do you guys have like a clear lip gloss that doesn't have, because like if you wear makeup, you'll know what I'm talking about. They have like a lot of lip glosses that are clear, but they have like sparkle or glitter in them, and I don't want any of that, right? And so I was like, and she was like, asking this guy that was doing makeup on somebody's face, and I mean, they were real nice about it. She was like, I can't really think of one, blah, blah, blah. She was like, well, maybe, I think NYX has one, and I was like, okay. So I went over there. Well, as soon as I opened it tonight, I was like, and I put it on, I was like, I don't know why it never occurred to me, but like lip smackers. Do you guys remember the lip smackers back in the day? I love them. But they had the clear like cotton candy lip gloss that came in like that, like the silver roller thing on the top of it. Oh my God, I used to love that stuff when I was a kid. Loved it. Loved it. That's how my parents were so accepting. They did not care that their 10-year-old son had lip smackers lip gloss. My lips were probably, you could see them a mile away or something. But anyway, I was like, why didn't I just get that? Actually, I'm glad I just said that, because I do need to go to Meijer, because I need to get, well, I'm actually at CVS right here. I just wanted to CVS, but I'll go to Meijer instead, because I'll take some time to drive over there. But I need to get some Aleve in case I don't want to be stuck in the house this weekend with no Aleve, because I'm out, in case I get a migraine. Which I haven't had bad migraines lately, but I would be stuck in the house and I would have a migraine. So, but what I was gonna say, the reason that I originally started talking about the gratitude, I talked about it already, didn't I? I said that I think we focus a lot, on when we're not having good days. And I think many of us, just as human beings anyway, are kind of complainers by nature, but I think that it really is about shifting our perspective and looking at things as half full instead of half empty. At least for me, like that's something that I've had to work on in my life, and I'm very grateful that I have worked on it and that I feel that way today, that I have a lot of gratitude for the blessings that I've been given in my life, no matter how small those blessings are. Like I didn't even talk about my day today at all, but I went to Whole Foods tonight, and I've been like kind of obsessively going to Whole Foods the last couple days for dinner or a late lunch and getting stuff from their deli. And like I've been getting soups with cornbread, and because I just am not still feeling great, and so like to have soup with cornbread, I don't know, it just feels very homey to me. And so I was sitting there tonight and I was watching Family Feud. I then ended up watching Project Runway. But they did not have the kind of soup I wanted. I wanted mushroom. Their mushroom soup is fantastic at Whole Foods. But I got tomato basil, which is good. I love tomato basil too. And some cornbread, and it was good. But I just was sitting there and I was like, I was like in just such a fantastic mood, just sitting there, and I was so relaxed. And as corny as this is, like, I know I've complained that I haven't taken the Christmas tree down, but the night that we watched The Snowman, the Joe Nesbo, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. And I think it's on cable right now, and maybe Netflix, I don't know. It's a espionage thriller. But anyway, we watched it, and I had the Christmas tree lit that night, and I was thinking about, like, if we watch movies tomorrow night, it'd be nice to have the Christmas tree up for one last weekend. So I was like, because I almost took it down today, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave the Christmas tree up for one last weekend. And I had it lit in the corner, and was sitting there, like watching. I then turned on Project Runway, and I was just it was just so peaceful and so nice, and the dogs were laying around, and it just, it's like those small moments that make me so happy, that I'm very, very content in those moments. Well, Alex and his mom were FaceTiming me too. So this is what happened. Alex decided that he was going to go over to his mom's house tonight. She was going to she made a rapist. And so he was like, do you want to come over? But I was like getting stuff done around the house. And then I had planned on going over there. And then like I looked, and we were out of dog food. So I had to go to the grocery store to get dog food. And when I got to the grocery store, oh my God. Okay, so in Indiana, I don't know if this is how it is where you guys are, but when we're gonna get 5 inches of snow or 2 inches of snow or whatever, the grocery stores are like manic, okay? It's literally like the apocalypse is hitting. And so I was in the grocery store for about a half an hour longer than I wanted to be, standing in line, and to get dog food and then hummus for us and chips. Like, that was why I was in line. So anyway, I got home and I fed the dogs, and I just was like, I just don't think that I'm gonna one of the things I'm gonna miss about this car is that, like, it comes up across my, like, messages come up across my car right now. It shows the last song that I was playing, which is Dance in the Dark by Lady Gaga, and it's some mix, Monarchy mix. And then my friend Valerie just texted me. So anyway, but what was I gonna say? So by the time I got home, it was like 9:15. No, it wasn't that late. It was like 9 o'clock, and I was feeding the dogs, and like Alex was gonna go over there at like 8:30, but he ended up going over there at like an hour earlier than that because he got done with stuff early. And so he'd already been over there, and they had eaten, and he was like, my mom will make you one when you come over here if you want. And I was like, okay, and she lives about 25 minutes from us, and which was gonna put me, I had to wait for the dogs to finish eating, and then I had to, like, you know, take them out and whatever, which was gonna get me there at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, do you care if I just don't come? And he was like, yeah, no, not at all. He's like, I'm gonna be home in a little bit anyway. So they were FaceTiming me, and I was talking to his mom and stuff, and she was telling me about her trip to San Diego. Okay, it slid. First slide of the night. The electric slide. Do you guys remember the electric slide from back in the day? But anyway, so yeah, I was like FaceTiming with Alex's mom and talking to her, and he was about half asleep on the couch over there, and they were just kind of hanging out and talking and stuff like that, and she was telling me all about her trip to San Diego. Then I got off the phone with them, and I finished my dinner and watched Project Runway, and then I had texted Tanya earlier asking her if she wanted a fountain pop, and she said sure. So yeah, so then I went and got Tanya, and that's been about my day. I got up today and went and ran errands, and then I went to, well, I guess you could consider Ulta an errand, but I was like, that was kind of fun. I was there like looking all around and stuff. I'm telling you, I could spend so much money in that store. The thing is like, you think of this, like Sephora is really more of like a makeup store, but like Ulta has like so many things in there, like really like skincare, like, I mean, and I know Sephora has a lot of skincare products too, but Ulta, at least our Ulta, I would say our Ulta is probably literally twice as big as our Sephora. Well, the ones that are right next to each other. I don't know, like the Sephora that's like in JCPenney's and the other ones, I don't know. But I would say like the one in the mall by us is, the Ulta is twice as big. So, yeah. I did talk to a friend of mine earlier today that watches my vlogs, and she lives in Indianapolis too. I've known her for a long time. And she was like, so I was watching your vlog the other night about the conspiracy theories. You guys, okay, now if you get scared about stuff, get ready because it's about to get real weird here. So anyway, I don't know scary is really the right word because I don't really know enough about these cases, but I know somebody out there will. So, because I already talked to Mel, and we're thinking about putting one of the books on the book club list. So, my friend called me and she was like, I was watching your vlog today about the conspiracy things and the things you believe in, and she's like, I've got 2 things for you to talk about in your vlog. So, I was like, so hey! So the first one, and I'm so happy that she called me too, because I had been thinking about her anyway today, but then, I like randomly, I was thinking about her. It was weird. I was like, you know what, I haven't talked to her in a while. And then she called, and then she called about this, which I have to tell you, like paranormal stuff and true crime are like 2 of my favorite topics to talk about. So, the first thing she said is, do you know that there is supposedly like this concentration camp on the south side of Indianapolis? And I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, so this is so weird. So she went into this whole thing and explained it to me. Well, then Victoria, who is the one that met Alex at Starbucks, she ran into Alex, my husband, at Starbucks. She had already commented on the video, and I hadn't read the comments yet. She had already commented about this, and it's like an old like train or something like that has supposedly been turned into like a concentration camp, but apparently they have like said, like they've ruled out that there's any truth to it, and it's all just speculation and lies. So I don't know, but I think that that's rather weird, don't you? Okay, and I don't know much about that story, so I'm gonna have to look that up and get back to you. The other thing, though, that my friend was telling me all about was the Sylvia Likens case. Okay, now, I don't know anything about this, And Tani got in my car tonight, we were talking, and I go, do you know anything about the Sylvia Likens case? And she goes, you're gonna become obsessed with it. And I go, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know about it? I will tell you one thing, you guys, about lip balm. I don't care if it's chapstick at Walmart or Chanel $38 lip balm, which, by the way, is not worth it. It just dries your lips up. Somebody asked me that the other day, and I'm like, yeah, your lips dry. You have to put it on constantly. But I still love it. I will tell you this. I mean, I've always kind of been weird about, like, chapsticks and stuff, like cheap chapsticks, right? But since I've made a concentrated effort in the last month to every day, and I know a lot of people don't believe in doing lip scrubs every day, but doing, like, a lip scrub, this is kind of like a get ready with me makeup review as well as paranormal story investigation, so that's probably what I'll title this. But since I made a concentrated effort on a daily basis of, like, at night, of doing a lip scrub, and I know people don't believe, like, that's what I was going to say. People don't believe in doing lip scrubs every day, but I do. Doing a lip scrub every day. I don't harshly do it either. And then using the Laneige sleeping lip mask at night. And then in the morning, I get up and, you know, just like wash it off. And then I always use lip balm all through the day. I have noticed a huge difference in my lips. Huge difference. And so is my husband. But he's like, your lips are so soft. He said that to me the other day. But anyway, so Tani got in the car tonight, and I have been talking to my friend about the Sylvia Likens case. And I said to Tani, I said, do you know about, have you heard of Sylvia Likens? And she was like, you're going to become obsessed with this case. I already know how you are. And I go, what, you know about it? Like, what is it? She said something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, she was like, you're gonna, like, this is gonna be your next thing, like that. And she even said, she was like, this is gonna be like your thing, like that Fox Hollow thing. And I go, what are you talking about? And she's like, it's such a weird case. She goes, it happened in Indianapolis. She knew exactly where it happened. And she was like, it was like this woman in the 60s. And this woman that took care of her would, like, let the neighborhood kids come over her and torture her. And she said there's a book out about it. She's like, I can't remember what the name of the book is. I'm like, yeah, it's called like Hell House or something. And there's 2 books, and then there's another one. I can't remember but it has the woman, like, it has a picture of this woman on the front of it, like her face is like the whole cover. And she's like, they tortured this girl until they found her dead, and like they like wrote stuff on her body and stuff like that. She's like, it was just horrible. It was like in the 60s. And she's like, there was a whole movie made about it called American Crime, which my friend had already told me too. And she's like, I think, because it's an older movie, because I think you can probably get it on like Amazon Prime or something. So now I'm like, well, do I watch the movie or do I read the book? Hold on a second. Let's see if that helps. So I'm like, do I watch? Nope, sure did it. I'm like, do I read the book or do I watch the movie? You know, because now I'm kind of like wanting to know about this case. Like, I'm real into it, see? And then I called Mel tonight. So if you don't know and you're new to my vlog, which I doubt, but Mel is she was my book club assistant, but now she's like president, vice president. We kind of co-run the whole, she's as big a part of it as I am. But anyway, we're thinking about changing it. We're not going to call it Peter's Book Club anymore. We're just going to call it the most fantastic book club in the entire world. Why aren't you a member? Isn't that such a great? The other day we were talking. This has been like 2 weeks now, actually. And I was like, "What do you think we should call it? Do you think we should just call it the book club?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think it's actually a good idea." And I go, "Well, what if we changed the name and we called it something like the best book club in the whole world?" She started laughing. She's like, "I actually like that." And I go, "Well, you know, like, I mean, if you're in a book club, don't you think you should think that whatever book club you're in is the best book club in the entire world?" You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of like the saying, like in 12-step programs, like whatever your home group is, you should believe your home group is the best home group, right? Like, I mean, none of them are the best, but you should feel that way, right? You should have that much pride and, you know, investment in what you're doing. So, I don't know. We're not going to do something like that, because then everybody will be like, oh my God, that's so arrogant, and oh, whatever. We're going to call it something funny. We'll call it, I don't know, the book club. That's kind of fun. But anyway, why was I bringing up Mel? Mel, why was I bringing you up? Oh, so I called her when I was getting my dinner ready tonight, and I said, oh my God, have you heard of this Sylvia Likens case? Oh, I think I was texting it to her actually before I called her, because she had just finished, Mel and I basically, okay, so here's the deal. We're going to quit our jobs and we're going to start a moonlighting investigation service like that TV show back in the day with Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis called Moonlighting. Because Mel and I have now kind of lost our minds. And all we do is talk about true crime. And we basically think we're investigators of the world. So, I'm Paul Holes and she's Michelle McNamara. And from I was going to say The Hunt for Red October, that horrible movie with Sean Connery. Oh my God, my mom loved that movie. But what was it? The One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer. I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Because that's what started all of this, right? Now we're like obsessed with it. She finished I'll Be Gone in the Dark. She finished this stupid camera. I hate you, camera. She finished the Ted Bundy book today, which I keep on wanting to call it Ted Bundy. She finished, I'm like losing it. I almost said I'll Stand By You. The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, which it starts off so weird if you don't know the story of how she knew him. But anyway, she finished it today and she's been listening to podcasts all day. Mel, rein it in. So anyway, but she did tell me an interesting fact. Did you know that the Bundys on Married with Children, this comes from Mel, so I'm giving her credit for this, that she found this out, that the Bundys on Married with Children were called the Bundys after Ted Bundy because they were the worst family in America. Isn't that interesting? So anyway, I didn't know that. But I am excited to finish the book. We'll even get into it. I'm only like not very far into it at all right now. But I'm excited to read it and find out more about the whole situation and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know if Mel's husband thinks that she's as crazy as my husband thinks I'm crazy, but like, we'll be sitting there at brunch and we'll be having a very, very nice brunch, you know? And I'll say something and I'll look at Alex and I'll say, don't you think it's like, where does somebody learn to like, when they're going to like assault people in their home, to put like plates on their back? These are torture techniques that I read in I'll Be Gone in the Dark. We're sitting there having a very nice Sunday brunch and I'm talking about torture techniques that I read about in I'll Be Gone in the Dark. And then he just looks at me like I'm crazy and I'm like, what? This is why you have to, oh my God, Mel, we should call our, the book club, the murder club. Or the breakfast club. Oh yes, we should call it the breakfast club. That's what we're gonna call it, okay. But anyway, I can't call it the murder club. That came from the book that I finished my book last night. So I finished 2 books this year so far, 2 books. And I'm almost done with my 3rd, because I'm almost done with Quickie by James Patterson. So I'm doing really good. I'm like on schedule for my reading 100 books this year for 2019. We'll see. I'm very proud of myself so far. And I've read some great books. I finished One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. And she has a new book coming out real soon. It was good. I figured it out halfway through, honestly, but that didn't ruin it for me. But I will tell you, and it's interesting, like, I don't know if you're out there that you're a reader, but it's very similar to, the way I felt at the end of this book was very similar to how I feel with TV shows sometimes. Like, all day today, I've kind of thought about it and kind of, like, missed the characters a little bit. So, Karen McManus has another book coming out, but I don't think it's a sequel. I don't know. I'll have to look and see. I don't know how it would be. But anyway, yeah. So Sylvia Likens case, and I don't know much about it. Where was I going to drive by the other day? I was going to drive by somewhere the other night. Oh, Hollyhock Hill. I didn't end up doing that. And Victoria said she married somebody there. Hi, Victoria. So anyway, she said in the comment section that she had married somebody there. I think that would be a really cool place to have a wedding, actually. It's pretty property, too. But I don't know much about the Sylvia Likens case, but I bet there's all kinds of weird cases in Indiana. You know, it's kind of funny that Mel hasn't brought this up yet because she's real into these old-timey stories, like Bonnie and Clyde. I'm not real into all that. But John Dillinger is actually from Indiana. And, I think he was actually from Seymour, where my ex is from. But I could be wrong about that. There's all kinds of weird crime stuff that's happened in Indiana. I'm trying to think of what else has happened here. Oh, let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something that's like really kind of a big deal. I feel like there's something I know, like it's a huge deal. Well, the Jim Jones thing, that was always weird to me because, like, they have, like, salted the hell out of these roads. There's salt everywhere. They must be damn well convinced that we're getting the snow, but I don't see it. I don't see no snow. Are you guys surprised to actually see my hair done for a video? I know, right? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. My nephew, Sebastian, is so adorable. If you have seen my Instagram stories, he knows the words to that song. And so when they bring out the karaoke machine, which is literally every time we're over there, he always sings Ghostbusters. He's so sweet. It's the sweetest thing. I am excited to sleep in tomorrow and hang out and watch some TV. I asked my husband, I said, what do you want from the grocery store? I don't need anything. I go, you don't need anything? He goes, no. I go, well, I'm gonna get you some hummus. And he goes, you don't have to do that. I go, no, I'm gonna get you some because I know that when I'm sitting there eating some hummus, he'll be like, God, I wish I had some hummus. He has no food in the house. He has no burritos. He has no chicken fingers. He has no, what do you call them? He calls them pizza nuggets, pizza rolls. He has no frozen pizzas. He has nothing, no leftovers, nothing in the house, okay? Tomorrow, when it snows and it's crazy out like this, if it really is bad and we can't go out, or if every place is closed and everybody in the world's trying to order pizzas and nobody's delivering, he is gonna be pissed because the grocery store will probably be closed. Do they close the grocery store? Maybe they don't do that though, do they? The thing is it's not like I live out in the middle of nowhere in the country. I mean, we're literally, if we had to walk to the gas station to get something, we could. You know what I mean? I'd love to have that conversation with Alex. Okay, for dinner, what do you want from the gas station? A cup of noodles or a frozen pizza? Have I told the Blizzard story on here before? Okay, I'm gonna tell the Blizzard story tonight because it's just, I'm in like a good mood. It's just a fun story to tell, okay? And I'm actually thinking about, because I have so many audiobooks, looking to see if I have a short one and trying to finish it tonight and tomorrow and waiting until the snow hits, because I want to see the snow start. I don't want to wake up and just have it be out there and then it be over. Like, that's not how I want to see it snow. But I'm not going to drive out in it while it's snowing. I'll like wait till it starts snowing a little bit and then I'll go home. But I might drive around for a little bit and listen to an audiobook. And I got 18 hours with a stranger beside me. But anyway, the Blizzard story is really, it was kind of a fun story. Well, it's funny, like, so I think the blizzard was everywhere, wasn't it? Like in 78, I think that was the year of the blizzard. So I would have been 6 years old. And when we moved onto the street that I grew up on, when we first moved up there, I lived on a cul-de-sac. I've shown the house before in a vlog I drove by, but when I was growing up there, where am I at on time? Okay. Like I'm talking to you. Oh, by the way, did you guys see that some of my predictions are already coming true? Did I already talk about this? Some of my predictions are already coming true from my predictions video. And people, like, I'm getting all these messages and they're like, are you, like legit, seriously, serious DMs. People are like, are you really a psychic? Because I predicted that Elijah Daniel was going to get engaged and married, and he got engaged today. And nobody saw it coming. And they're like, are you seriously psychic? And I'm like, I told you I've got feelings about things. We'll see what else happens, what else plays out. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so I guess I would have been like 6 years old, it was 77, 78, which I think is the year of the blizzard. Is that right? 79? I would have been 7. So anyway, I was a 6 or 7, I think I would have been. And our cul-de-sac, like our street, there were only like 4 or 5 people that lived there. One of which was one of my mom's, hold on. Thank you. Which was one of my mom's dearest friends of life, lived across the street from us. She and her husband and her 2 kids from a previous marriage. Who, the daughter was 2 years older than me, and the son was like 5 years older than me. And the daughter and I were like really, really good friends. Actually, she's the one that I've talked about on here before. That winter, when we were like snowed in, because, you know, like we were out of school for like 2 or 3 weeks, it was unbelievable. We would roller skate in my basement, and she had this long silk kimono, and she would act like she was a Donna Summer. So the basement that I had in my house when I was growing up was the full length of the house, and it was all cement. And we would play Xanadu in my basement. Do you remember that movie, Xanadu? Oh God, I love that movie. Anyway, we would play Xanadu, and she was Dolly Parton. She was Donna Summer, and I was Hugh Hefner from the Playboy Mansion. And I had like this silk like robe thing too. We both had these silk robe things. I don't know, they were her mom's or something. That's probably why I thought I was Hugh Hefner with the silk robe. But we would like roller skate around there, and we would act like we were at the Playboy Mansion. Who does this stuff, okay? And people wanted to how people knew I was going to end up gay someday. And we would come up with these like unbelievable storylines about all of the people that, like, I don't know why Donna Summer and Hugh Hefner would have been hanging out together at the Playboy Mansion, but these extensive storylines of all the people they were going to invite to their party and stuff like that. I think we were kind of getting Studio 54 mixed up into that whole thing somehow. I don't know. Maybe we had seen that movie, Thank God It's Friday, with Donna Summer. I love Donna Summer so much. Okay, I cannot even tell you the countless hours that we used to roller skate to her. And here is what is so funny, okay, is if you remember this back in the day, we did not have tapes, we did not have iPhones, we didn't have nano iPods, none of that kind of stuff. We had record players, okay? So if you wanted to skate outside to a record player, I mean, we had like tape players and tape cassette players, but like before that, what we would do is we would put the record player in the window and open the window. Do you guys remember that? Oh my God. My mom also would put the record player, the speakers in the window. It just started snowing. Yes, it's like just a little bit though. She would put the record player speaker in the window, and then her and her friends would sit on the front porch while we were playing baseball and stuff, and they would drink beer and smoke cigarettes. I found out later, the older boys in my neighborhood thought that my mom was nice to look at, I guess. Anyway, she and her friends that would sit out there in their little, you know, what do you call it? Their cork wedge candy shoes, and God, what an era, you know? So anyway, it's literally like I can see like one flake of snow like every 20 feet. It's not started yet. But that winter was so fantastic, and I don't remember much about it, but I remember like we just couldn't go anywhere. Like you literally could not leave the street, and our street was completely iced off. Like the kids were playing, like all of the kids on our street were like skating and playing like hockey and stuff, like in actual skates, because the ice was so thick on the cul-de-sac. You couldn't drive down the street, you couldn't go anywhere. And they had taken the snow and plowed huge piles of it into like in front of our driveways and stuff, so you couldn't get anywhere, you couldn't go anywhere, you know? We were out of school forever, I remember that. And so that was that blizzard of 78 or 77 or 79 or whatever it is. But then, like, a couple years ago, we didn't have a blizzard. You know what, I was talking about this on here the other night, and I was talking about the guy at the gas station that said it was 2013. You know what, he's actually right, because, okay, what happened was, Alex and I don't know what, well, like, he didn't have to go into work for, like, it got bad. So we had a storm hit Indianapolis, and what happened was first we got an ice storm, and then we got a snowstorm, and then it was an ice and snow mix, okay, which we get a lot of like ice and sleet in Indianapolis, and ice and sleet is really dangerous in Indianapolis because no matter how great the roads are prepared, they're never prepared enough for that. And that's, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, they're never prepared for that because the roads are always like super, super horrible after it sleets, you know? And the other thing is that, like, I'm sure it's like anywhere, but like if you live somewhere warm, I don't know if you don't relate to this, so I'll explain it to you. But the other thing is that like power cords and like telephone cords and things like that, they get real heavy and then they snap, right? So you lose electricity all over the city. You lose well, not phone lines, we don't have phone lines now, but electricity cable lines go down too constantly, right? So everything is shut out, and there's like, so that year we stayed at the house, and it iced first, and then we got like a lot of snow after that. But it was like for 2 days, it was like a mixture of it. Well, the first day we were there, I can't even remember, I don't remember the whole, how it all went down, but needless to say, we were trying to wait it out, is what we were trying to do for the heat to come back on, the electricity to come back on, and it just didn't. So finally I looked at Alex, and we were like literally cuddled with all the dogs and stuff like that, and I said, we've got to get out of here, Alex. I said, it's way too cold. And we had like called some hotels, and all the hotels were packed. There was like nowhere to get us in, I think, or anything like that. And Melissa and Jason had said, just come over here. And Melissa was like, I'll bring, you know, we'll make chili, and you guys can sleep here and stuff like that for as long as you need to. And like we had really, really waited it out. And I was like, okay. And so, and she was like, we'll watch movies and it'll be fun and whatever. She's like, but you can't bring the dogs because I think she was, I don't know if they had just gotten their dog or if she had like a rescue dog there. I can't remember the reason why, but anyway, so I called Tanya, and Tanya was like, well, I'm going to the kennel, meet me at the kennel, and you can just board the dogs here. And at least, you know, we have the generator, so like they'll get heat and they'll be safe and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay. I just thought I should probably get gas tonight too. I wasn't even thinking about that, even though I just got gas, but just tap off my tank, right? So anyway, I mean, I guess I don't really need it, but see, that's how you think in snowstorms. But anyway, I remember Alex and I driving over there with the dogs in that snowstorm, and it literally, it was like a state of an emergency. There was like no cars on the road, and it literally was blowing and drifting so bad on the, I mean, I didn't think we were gonna make it to the kennel. And because like Tanya had offered for us to stay at her house, but I wanted to be close to the house because I wanted to be able to see if it was going back on, you know? And Melissa and Jason live really, really close to us. So I was like, no, Tanya, we'll just like stay, you know, right here. So anyway, so we got the dogs to the kennel, got them all settled and all that kind of stuff. And I remember we got in the car, and Alex was like, I don't think we should be out on the road. And I mean, it was bad. And we like went like 5 miles an hour all the way home, took side streets and got back there and got to Melissa and Jason's. And for some reason, their house was the only one, like our friend, like that lives in the same, there's 3 of us that live, she just actually moved, she and her husband that are friends with us, they just actually moved somewhere else. But they were out of power for like a week. We got ours back like 2 days later. So we were laying there, and anyway, or we were staying there, and we, you know, ate chili and all this kind of stuff. But I remember I was laying there this one night, and it was like, I think we stayed there one night or maybe 2. I think it was only one night that we ended up staying there. I think the first night that it was, the electricity went out was the night that we said we were gonna stay there. And it was so cold by the time we got up the next morning. I said, babe, we gotta go. We can't stay here. And he was like, yeah, I agree. And I think that's when we took the dogs over to the kennel, because it was earlier in the day that I think we went over there. So that was the second day, because I think we only stayed there one night. And we got over there, and I remember Melissa and I stayed up and watched some scary movie. Jason went to bed. She made us chili and hot chocolate chip cookies and hot chocolate, and we had so much fun. And I mean, it was just snowing and windy and all this kind of stuff outside. And well, needless to say, the bag doesn't work because it slid. So anyway, but I was just like laying on the couch, and I was like, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch. But it was so nice. And the next day we got up and everything, and I was like, I don't want to go. I want another blizzard. Can we have another blizzard? Melissa's like, we can have a blizzard anytime you want to have a blizzard. Come over and I'll make you chili anytime. Actually, Melissa just texted me the other day, Was it yesterday? Because they are doing a remake of, oh my God, Death of a Cheerleader, which is one of our favorite movies starring Tori Spelling and Kelly Martin. Did you ever see that movie back in the day? So Melissa and I think it's coming out in February. Melissa and I are going to watch the original and the new one back to back. It's like literally the identical script. She sent me the trailer. We're going to watch both of the movies back to back, and then we're going to do a review of them on the review channel. Of course, why wouldn't we? Oh my God. Have you ever seen that movie? Tori Spelling was kind of, she didn't deserve what she got, but it was bad. That's a true story. Do you know that? But Tori Spelling was mean in that movie. She wasn't very nice to Kelly Martin. Kelly Martin, who's like the queen of Lifetime movies, she was straight up a weirdo, wasn't she? Do you remember that? I feel like I have dedicated so much time in my life to watching Lifetime and Hallmark movies. I mean, I could bet you I have seen like every major Lifetime movie that is out there. Our friend that used to live here, she lives in Vegas now, but she used to have, like, I can't remember what night it was, but Lifetime used to have, like, a new movie they would premiere, like, every Monday or every Wednesday or whatever. And she used to have these, like, dinner parties where she, like, legit would cook a whole meal around, like, that. And we watched The Client List with Jennifer Love Hewitt. We watched The Craigslist Killer. I remember that was, like, the best one. We got laughing so hard at some of those horrible, horrible Lifetime movies. But some of them are really good, too. I wonder how long I've been vlogging now. Probably close to like an hour, don't you think? You guys know, because you're like watching. Oh. Tanya and I were walking behind these two girls that were walking into, they were walking into the gas station tonight, and they were like in front of us. Hey, if you smoke pot, have at it, okay? Like, do your thing, right? Just do it, anything you do in moderation. Don't allow it to affect your life. So anyway, but they were walking in front of us. Do you ever like walk, if you don't smoke, or maybe if you do, but like, especially if you don't smoke, when somebody that smokes pot, like they've literally just got high in the car, walks in a store and they're in front of you, you can smell it a mile away. You know what I mean? So we like walk in this store, and Tanya looks at me and she looks at me, she goes like this, she goes, it's two girls, she goes, pot. Because you could just smell it wafting off of them. It's kind of like lightly starting to snow. Like just a little bit more than it was over there. I'm like ready for it. I'm like, just come on. Wonder what, if you guys, I'll get this up early tomorrow. If there is a great Blizzard movie, let me know, because I want to watch it. What is a great Blizzard movie to watch? I'm trying to think. I should probably know like a great Blizzard movie, shouldn't I? Oh, I bet I've seen something. Oh, what's that movie? The Day After Tomorrow. That's a good Blizzard movie. But that's not very real, is it? What else? Did you ever see the Christmas episode of Little House on the Prairie when, what was his name? I can't think of his name, but he's like Charles' best friend. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mr. Edwards, how could I forget that? And he comes, it's like one of the very, very early episodes. I think it's based on The Long Winter, and which I've talked about the last couple days, like 3 times in a row. Do you guys truly understand now that I am like a child when it comes to my love of snow? Like, I'm obsessed with it. I love snow days, I love snow, I like the idea of not being able to leave. I love everything that comes with snow, and I mean, that's partly why I live in an area where there's snow. And people are like, I don't understand why you like snow so much. I don't know why I do either. I just like it. But anyway, oh, we could watch The Shining tomorrow. Oh my God, yes. Do you know the sequel to It comes out this fall? Like, not the sequel, but the second part of it. It's called It too, I think. What was I gonna say? Plus, that girl that played 11 in Stranger Things, she's in some movie that's coming out that's supposed to be great this year, but I have to be honest, you want to talk about typecasting somebody? Like, I don't know that I'll ever be able to look at her again as anybody other than 11. Like, I just don't think I ever will. I think she's a phenomenal actress, but I just don't think I'll ever be able to look at her as anything other than 11, you know, like that. I mean, don't you think it's hard sometimes when you see people like that and they're just like, you know them so much for a certain role? But anyway, what was I doing talking about movies? Blizzard movies. I do love Blizzard movies. Did you guys ever see the movie back in the day called Black Rain about the town that gets, it was with Christian Slater. I love Christian Slater. Oh my God, I had such a crush on Christian Slater when I was like in high school. I thought he was, Did you ever see that movie Pump Up the Volume? I loved that movie so much. Oh my God. Samantha, was it Samantha Mathis? Is that her name? Whatever happened to her? Look, it's snowing, but very, very lightly. I love it. Is it sticking? It's 29 degrees. See, that's the other thing too. Like, if it's not too cold, it might not stick. Which would make me very sad. I mean, if we're gonna get like all this snow and it's not gonna stick, who cares? That just makes it slush. Who'd want a bunch of slush? Not me. You know what I just remembered? I don't know why I remember this. I was thinking about making homemade slushies. My mom and I back in the day, oh my God, we would make milkshakes at home. And I would put like chocolate sauce and ice cream, and I would always put like instant coffee in there. I don't know why. But I made the best milkshakes back in the day. My mom, she made the best ice cream sundaes ever. She would put like vanilla ice cream, I mean old fashioned, like the way you're supposed to. She would put like vanilla ice cream, like 3 scoops, and then she would put like chocolate sauce, caramel sauce, but then she would put like peanuts on it, you know, like the Spanish peanuts. Oh, she loved those. And, oh my God, it was so good. I want an ice cream sundae so bad now. It's sticking. Over here it is. It's on the ground. It's pretty. Yay! I got my snow and I can turn around and go home. I was right over here last night when I finished my audiobook. Subway has been sounding so good to me lately. I don't know why. I just looked over there at that Subway and I was like, oh my God, Subway sounds so good. I don't know why though. I mean, all I get is like the veggie sandwich, so. Just tons of veggies with cheese. Still really good. Have you ever had it? Oh my God, it's so good. Now, Pee-Pee and Tucker don't love the snow so much anymore, but Boo Radley is a freak about the snow. He loves the snow. Loves, loves, loves it. He loves to hop around in it. I made our bed, did I ever talk about this? I made our bed so cozy tonight. I need some more chapstick. This thing isn't working to hold the camera, but anyway. I made our bed so cozy tonight. I made it like perfect so that when I get into it tonight, it'll be so nice on Alex's side. I like turned over his little covers on the end. Yep, it's like we're at a bed and breakfast kind of deal. Get it? A bed and breakfast. So anyway, You know, I really like, I had never stayed at a bed and breakfast before we stayed at that one in Connecticut, and I really, really liked that. Like, I could go and stay at a bed and breakfast like that. I could do that for like a whole week. That was really fun. Like, a weekend was great, but like doing it for a whole week, I could do that too. This lip gloss is like really like a mile away, isn't it? Like, I probably don't need that. That's kind of like a going out to the club kind of thing, right? So anyway, my husband is so funny. He was so cute today. He was like texting me all this stuff that he wants to do while we're in LA. He's like, well, he was like, because like the last time he was there, he went to like Sir and Pump. Okay, my husband is obsessed with Vanderpump Rules and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He loves Lisa Vanderpump, loves her. So he's like, well, we could go to Sir and Pump, and I want to go to Tom Tom. I was like, okay. And then he's like, oh, we could do Runyon. And I'm like, because, you know, like everybody goes up Runyon Canyon and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, we could do this and we could do that. I go, there are some things that I would kind of like to see too, other than bars that are on Vanderpump Rules. And he was like, oh, totally. He was like, well, what do you want to do? I go, well, you've already done those things. Isn't there something else that you want to do? And he goes, no, not really. I don't know. Oh, that's the turn signal. How do I turn on? How do I? Ooh, there. Okay. I finally figured out this stupid car, and it's time for me to turn it in. It's now starting to come down a little bit. Not like super heavy, but pretty. Well, they sure did guess the time, 2:21 a.m., and it's coming down, so. Well, listen, you guys, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to get up here. Come up here. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to turn around and head home so I get into bed and I am safe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great weekend. If you're where we're getting snow, I hope you're staying safe. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.